Hi everyone, today, we're going to take a look at the 5 best lenses for Nikon D750 on the market for this year. First, we're going to show you our 5 best picks, then we'll talk about what you should look for before buying a best lenses for Nikon D750. You can find timestamps and links to all the products we mention in this video down in the description below. Let's get started. Before we get into the review, let's talk about why you need one of the best lenses for Nikon D750 to help you get the best possible results from your camera. The D750 was the long-awaited upgrade from the D700. Many photographers weren't getting the results and performance that they wanted from the D700, and there were a lot of unmet expectations left after the D610 and the disastrous D600 models were released. The D750 jumped in on the scene and filled that gap between the D700 and some of the far more expensive flagship models. Many photographers found that they could get some of the most popular attributes from their favorite Canon models on the Nikon D750, and this was game-changing. You're able to switch between presets very easily by using the dial. The body is magnificently light yet robust and rugged enough for more intense field use. The resolution and image quality gives you almost the same quality images as the flagship models do, and this is just to mention a couple of them. There were many adaptations added to the D750 that drew the enthusiasts in. It performs excellently in low light conditions, and the autofocus is nearly unequaled in its locking time and accuracy, both in good lighting and in poorly lit conditions. Let's get into the reviews. Number 5. Nikon 20068 lenses for Nikon D750. The narrow aperture of this lens is great for landscape shots. You'll get more detail and a deeper depth of field. Wider apertures tend to be better suited to the shallow depth of field shots. This makes this lens well suited to capturing scenes in detail and with a good level of sharpness. The aperture is wide enough for that blurry background or foreground effect, while still giving you a good amount of detail. It's a full-frame lens that will give you real-world focal lengths of 70 to 300 mm, which is in the telephoto range, making this lens brilliant for wildlife and sporting photography. You'll be able to quickly adjust your zoom to photograph a subject while the opportunity lasts, all without having to change your position and miss the chance. Image stabilization improvements help you get sharp and tacked shots. You should still consider mounting your camera on a reliable tripod if you want exceptional results. This is one of the best Nikon lenses for D750 users who are into wildlife, sporting, and event photography. It excels at making sure you never miss the moment. Pros: versatile telephoto lens for use in diverse situations. Good image stabilization. Good low light performance for a telephoto zoom lens. Cons: autofocus is pretty sluggish at times, especially at the far end of the zoom. The lens is on the heavier side and has quite a bulky design. Number 4. Nikon AFS VR 200-500E lenses for Nikon D750. This is capable of capturing what you see in your mind's eye, even if they're further than your eyes can see. It's an exceptional lens for photographing sports, wildlife, birds, landmarks, motorsports, performers, and pretty much anything else that lies relatively far away. The fast f/5.6 aperture lets you sharply capture subjects on the move while beautifully blurring out the background. The depth of field effects are professional grade and the images are crisp and attractive. This lens is full-frame compatible and will fit comfortably onto your Nikon D750. It's a large and long lens that will take some getting used to. The added size and weight help image stabilization and might also help you improve your holding technique and other physical aspects of your photography. This is one of our more highly recommended lenses for Nikon D750 if you have any interest in the photography niches mentioned above. This lens performs just as well as the champions it's capable of photographing. It will be very comfortable in nearly all situations that call for a telephoto lens. Pros: 5 stops of vibration reduction help stabilize the image even more. You can get stunning blurred backgrounds and sharp, perfectly focused subjects. Very versatile telephoto lens. The material quality and lens have a premium feel. Cons. Doesn't perform great in low light as the aperture isn't wide enough. Number 3. Yongnuo EN-50mm lenses for Nikon D750. This is an excellent lens to break you into 50mm portrait photography. It's a prime lens, so the image quality is sharp and tactful. The D750 is a lightweight camera and so is this lens. Together, they'd be very comfortable to have around as an everyday carry. It's not a full-frame compatible lens, so you're going to get a focal length of 70mm due to the crop factor. This is a great focal length to fine-tune your composition skills and portrait technique, so don't worry about this too much. You'll simply need to move back a bit to get back to the original 50mm size. This lens is good for you if you don't have much previous experience with 50 to 70mm focal lengths. It's a really cheap and low-risk prime lens to practice and build a foundation with, though you shouldn't expect to get the image quality of much more expensive prime lenses. The aperture is wide enough for you to work on your low-light photography and event photography. 50-70mm lenses do especially well with wedding and event photography. All in all, it's cheap and delivers good enough quality to keep you motivated and improving. Pros. Very affordable. It's a lightweight lens that's easy to carry around. The aperture is wide enough for decent low-light photography. Fantastic for portrait photography. Cons. Not a full-frame compatible lens. Autofocus isn't great and it gets a little worse in low light. Number 2. Tamron AFB028N700 lenses for Nikon D750. All-in-one lenses are unmatched in their versatility. No other lens comes close to matching them as they can shoot all the way from ultra-wide angle through to highly zoomed telephoto. This makes them a possible one-stop photography lens. You can capture pretty much every scene you'll come across. It might only struggle with astrophotography and very deep telephoto shots. Make sure you have a good tripod with you, especially if you're keen on getting sharp telephoto shots. These lenses are larger than most, so you'll have to make sure it's well protected and in a good cause. They have a large number of moving parts and that makes them more susceptible to fall damage. They aren't the fastest lenses, but with good photography technique, you'll be able to get tacked and well-exposed shots across the entire focal length. It's not a full-frame lens, though it will fit your D750. You'll just need to account for the crop factor and do the extra legwork to get better wide-angle shots. It's a fantastic option and one of the most versatile Nikon D750 lenses at this price. Pros. Ultra-versatile and capable in nearly every situation. Affordable compared to the huge price tags on some similar models. 45 cm minimum focus range lets you get quality macro shots. Moisture resistance helps keep your lens safe outdoors and in wetter conditions. Cons. Not well suited to low-light photography. Number 1. Nikon 20063 lenses for Nikon D750. This is one of the top choices for the best lens for Nikon D750 models. It's a high-end lens that offers the versatility unique to zoom lenses and image quality and stabilization that gives expensive prime lenses a run for their money. If you have the budget, this lens has the potential to take your photography to the next level. It's an unbelievably capable field lens that can make sure you don't miss the moment. It's fast, the stabilization is superb and the autofocus is snappy and accurate. Its low-light performance is great for a zoom lens and it uses a constant f/2.8 aperture over the entire zoom range. This means you get evenly exposed images across the whole focal range. This lens is a worthy match for your camera and is one of our most highly recommended lenses for Nikon D750 users. It's full-frame compatible and is versatile enough to make it into a working professional's kit list. It's a lens that pulls its own weight and delivers magnificent performance on par with its price. Pros. Image stabilization over 4 stops instead of 3.5. Its robust and rugged build make it perfect for field photography. It's weather-sealed too. The autofocus is one of the best among Nikon zoom lenses. Electromagnetically controlled aperture brings improvements to overall ease of use and image quality. It's a full-frame compatible lens. Cons: it's expensive and requires a carefully thought-out investment. Not beginner-friendly and is harder to master.